Peace. What's going on, YouTube family? You back with your boy Wrench Turner for another episode of Shop Talk, or how some people would say it, Shop Talk with Wrench Turner. However you want to say it, it's all good. Thank you for tuning in and welcome back. Today's episode is being brought to you by the good people at Boston Bridges. No matter what, take out the time to stay fly, go by the website, check out the merch, see something you like, copy it, stay fly regardless. For today's episode, I am going to be talking about obtaining a used bike. Alright, now that we are at the end of the riding season, if you will, you know, it's a lot of bikes that are out for sale, that are up for sale right now, regardless of using Facebook Marketplace, you're using Craigslist, you're using eBay, you're using any other, you know, website that you would use in order to obtain a used vehicle. I always notice at the end of the year, you know, right around Halloween, before Thanksgiving, whatnot, I always notice an influx of bikes being sold. And, you know, it's not to say that you shouldn't buy a bike at the end of the season or whatever may have you. But this video is just, I guess, a tidbit. This video is just a little tutorial, if you will, on things to look for, because when you know what you're looking for, you look for it. When you don't know what you're looking for, you overlook it because of whatever. A lot of times when it's time to go and buy something new, you already got it on your mind what you're going to buy and what it looks like or what you want per se, because it's for you. But a lot of times when people got nonsense for sale, stuff that they know is on the verge of breaking, or something that they know they don't want anymore because it's not running right, people would do any and everything to make it look good for you, so that when you come to see it, it's going to look wonderful, it's going to look marvelous, to the point that you're ready to fork over your money. But one of the things that you shouldn't do when going to look for a new bike, especially at the end of the season, is not ride the bike, or not have the owner ride the bike. Regardless if you don't feel comfortable giving him your money up front or whatever, you should always be wary about if the bike runs right, if the bike can shift in the gears, or if the bike is kicking out of gear when the rider or you goes to get on it and put a real load down on the bike. Because, you know, like with me, dealing with like all of these motorcycle manufacturers, I've got to see the flaws and the shortcomings of manufacturers. And not to say that motorcycle manufacturers make shortcuts just to sell your bike, that's not what I'm saying. But every single bike has their flaws, like things that, like the next generation, they should have capitalized on and made better for the next generation, if you will. So being a mechanic and working on older bikes, I get to see, you know, manufacturer flaws. So one of the things, like with Yamaha, like if you want to buy like a R6 or R1 from somebody, if you are the guy that rides the bike, if you go to be in second gear and you go to put a load on it for real and it pops out of gear, you might just need to turn around and take that bike back to that guy, because at that point you need to know that that bike needs shift forks. You might not know what that means or whatnot. A lot of people don't know what that means. Some people just know how to put gas in the bike and keep riding. But your shift forks play the biggest part when it comes down to your bike staying in gear. If you have a shift fork that's bent, or you have a shift fork that's not true, then every time you go to get on the bike, you're going to have this popping out. And you're going, whoom, like you missed the gear. And that's exactly what it's going to sound like. It's going to sound like you missed the gear. And then the average person don't realize what's going on because you don't know what to look for. So that's just one of the things to look for with Yamahas when you're going to buy a Yamaha, because I am super Yamaha to death for me, regardless. Other manufacturers, like, you know, I really don't get into talking down about like people or talking down about manufacturers. So a lot of the times I just stay out of conversation or verbiage to whereas I might be heard talking down about a manufacturer. Everybody knows that, everybody who knows me knows that I don't take a liking to Honda bikes, because Honda bikes was decent in the 90s, you know what I mean? Like, now I can't speak about them so much because I've heard so many people talk junk about them, so I can't really speak that good about them like in the last 10 years of it now. Suzuki's, everybody know what to expect from Suzuki, but I'm not going to get into every manufacturer's flaws. What I am going to tell you is, this is the end of the season. You need to think about what a person has been doing with that bike the whole time it was hot this year. You need to think about if that person was wheeling, if that person was doing burnouts, if that person was doing indoors, if that person was drag racing, if that person was drifting the bike. Like, there's so many different factors when it comes to buying a used bike. Now, I've bought used bikes before, and some of them were good, and some of them were just plain out horrible, to the point that I had to put more time, money, and labor into making the bike great than I may have wanted to. So you need to look out for, like, when you crank up a bike, you can put your ear to the side of the bike, on each side. If the bike is ticking in any kind of way, walk away. Because unless you're a mechanic or you just want that bike really, really bad, you are in for some problems. And you are in for spending some money or spending some time or labor on making that bike what you want to make it. Like little things, like if you notice that the chain is loose, if you know, you can take your hand and tap the bottom of the chain. If the chain is loose, that's nothing. Because a new riding season, you want to put a new chain on your bike anyway. Like me personally, I don't ride 2 years with the same chain on my bike, because I know what I'm going to be doing with the bike. So, like, you can check the chain, you can check, especially the front brakes. You know, like, the average person grabs a used bike and don't do any maintenance whatsoever. You know, and you have to think about your life, because that's your life. You're on this vehicle, you're on this thing that has the capability to go well over 100 miles an hour. So you want to think about your life. You want to think about what's at stake. You want to check the front brakes. You want to check the chain. You want to check the tires. You want to check the oil. You want to check everything. Like, for you to know that you're about to be putting yourself on this bike, you need to check every single thing. Because the person that had the bike, do you honestly think that they're going to change the oil filter? You think they're going to tell you that the tires look good, but they could go for a change? No. The person that's selling you that bike ain't going to tell you nothing about nothing that they did. They're not going to tell you about their riding habits. They're not going to tell you about the Saturday night Willie Fest that him and his boys used to have. Or they're not going to tell you about none of that. Excuse my hand itching. I mean, the money coming. People are not going to tell you nothing about their riding habits or what they do when they're out on this bike. If you don't see them out on that bike, you don't know their riding habits. You don't know what they do. All you know is, yo, somebody got a bike. That y'all look good, boy. I think I want to get that. That's really all you know. So, one of the things that I like to do is to have the rider jump on the bike and take it up the street. You know, and when the owner, I said rider, when the owner jumps on the bike and takes it up the street, you know, before he gets on the bike, tell him, hey, ride it how you normally ride it. You dig? So, if they do burnouts and all that, ride, do what you do, champ. You know, what do you do on the bike? And you can even ask them, you know, what all have you done on the bike over the summer? What do you do on the bike? Don't be afraid to ask a person that, because, I mean, if you are a good judge of character, then when you ask a person that, you'll be able to read their body language. You'll be able to read them before they say anything. So ask the right questions, and don't be afraid to ask the right questions. Don't be afraid to ask any questions for that matter, because you are paying your money. You're putting your body on this thing, and the person that's selling it to you don't owe you nothing. So they don't have to tell you the truth about anything. All they're trying to do is get your money. Period. So, regardless of whatever, regardless of how your day is going, this day ain't even overcast, by the way, too. So most of you should have had a good day. Regardless of how your day is going, regardless of who pissed you off, who made you mad, who said anything to you that you might not have liked, take the time out to look at yourself. Take the time out to recollect. Take the time out to view what's coming from you. You know? Because, you know, you can look on social media, you can look anywhere. You have almost everybody acting like or speaking like they're positive or want to be positive. Pardon me. I don't know what's going on there. I'm going to throw it off today. But you have a lot of people that will talk to you like they're positive or will act like they're positive. But their aura is not positive. The energy that they put off when they're not trying to be something else is not positive. Positivity is something that you live. And there is no going back or jumping rope with it. Like, this is something that you have to live every single day. Regardless of your religious standpoint, regardless of your culturalistic background. Being positive is something that you do every single day. So, until the next time, regardless of who has what to say to you, who treats you any kind of way, you have to take the time out to look at yourself and say, this is not how I am going to project myself. Because each day is an opportunity to be better. And if they be mean to you, if they say mean things to you, look them in their eyes. I am so thrown off today. You look them in their eyes and you smile and you tell them to have a nice day. Until next time, good people.